you guys? Oh, let me, before I put my glasses on and read some of the things on this paper, since I can't see them. Actually, it's pretty bright out here, I can't. I will, one, congratulate Cody on going through what he did for all of us, for this industry, for himself. I know what that's like. I've been in that spot, unfortunately, a few different times, and I can admire what goes into it. And for him to be able to turn that around and come back tonight and do what he did is amazing in and of itself. So congratulations to him, punching his ticket, like he said, something that no one else in his family has been able to do, but punching that ticket to the main event at WrestleMania, having that moment to be out there, stand in front of that, incredible crowd, and do what everybody dreams of, because I believe that the people that make fun of it are the people that believe that they'll never get the chance to do it. And that is point to that sign that says you are going to WrestleMania in the main event. That's an amazing accomplishment after such an incredible setback. And for what Cody said here, I can't help it, but when I look at him, I do see his dad. I look in his eyes and I see his dad's eyes. I see Dusty, but I see all the best things of Dusty, and then I see something more in Cody. So it's not about comparing him. I just see the greatness of his dad amplified in his dad's son, and that's something special. He's a special talent, special human being, and I'm very proud of him for that. So I want to thank all of you for being here tonight, all the media in attendance here. Incredible turnout. I want to thank all of our partners that made this Royal Rumble such an incredible success, especially the Alamo Dome in the city of San Antonio. Couldn't have had better hosts, couldn't have had better partners in this process. I want to thank the greatest roster of talent in the world, the WWE superstars that performed here tonight. Second to none anywhere. Incredible group. I look forward to them all having the opportunities, the ones that are at the top, that are, as he said, the top end superstars, to be able to continue to shine, and the ones that are just getting started, to have that opportunity to take it to a whole nother level and be those superstars of the future, because that's what this is all about. And I think you saw a lot of that tonight, a lot of the future sort of unveiling in front of your eyes tonight with a lot of different talent. And I especially want to thank WWE Universe, just everybody that's out there around the globe. We had a record-setting night tonight, and none of it happens without them. None of it happens without the people that tune in every week, the people that think, like I do, that this is the greatest form of entertainment in the world. And apparently Elon Musk is one of those people, because he was even tweeting about the Royal Rumble tonight. So it was a pretty cool moment. But it takes an incredible team to make an event like this successful, as we had here today. Tonight we had the largest gate in Royal Rumble history by far. By far. We had 51,338 in attendance, which is massive. We were opening up production kill seats, and as fast as we could open them, they were selling all through yesterday, all through today. It was amazing. This is also the most sponsorship revenue for us in Royal Rumble history, doubling the previous record. As you can see, Mountain Dew Pitch Black was a part of it. Applebee's, Capcom, makes you hungry, makes you want to drink some beverages, right? It's all good. But I want to thank them, because they make this event, they really make all of this possible, all the spectacle that you saw here tonight. And we also had more than 100 media on site at the Alamo Dome today, which is incredible. That's WrestleMania numbers from a media turnout. So thank you to all of you for that. And we will get other metrics and numbers on merchandise sales next week, but just going by what I was told today as the Superstore rolled out and everything here, we're gonna have to start bringing more merchandise to these venues because I think they pretty much cleaned us out in a good way. And as you all know, the Royal Rumble is the kickoff to the road to the biggest event we have, to WrestleMania. And this year is, I think, something special. This Royal Rumble leads us to SoFi Stadium, leads us to what will be the biggest two-day, or the biggest period, WrestleMania that we have ever had. We have already set the all-time gate record for WWE WrestleMania, and as of earlier today, we hadn't even announced a single match yet. You know, as of this moment, you know Cody Rhodes is going to be there. You know Rhea Ripley's going to be there. That's it. So we're already at record-breaking numbers. It's going to be a spectacular event. We're just going to do what we do, and we're going to roll in there with WrestleMania and own LA. So I look forward to seeing you all there for the next couple of months leading into it. Truly going to be something special. I think tonight was just a high jump-off point, and we're already screaming down the road to WrestleMania, and something that you know, there's certain moments I think that happen when you've been doing this a long time where you just begin to have a feel for stuff, and this feels different. It really does. This feels different. It feels special, and I think we're in for a magnificent road to WrestleMania and a spectacular WrestleMania. So thank you for all of that, and I'll open up to questions.
First question right here.
Hey, Paul, Matt Camp from WWE's The Bump.
Well, you got an inside source?
Yeah, thanks for that. Obviously, it was Cody's night, but Gunther entered from #1, set the longevity record in the Royal Rumble. Can you talk about and assess his evolution here in WWE and throughout his entire career so far?
Yeah, I think sometimes when people look at the Royal Rumble, they just look at the winner. I tend to look at who has the moments that are most spectacular. That's what our business really a lot of times is. It's about the big moments, and that moment catapulting you to another moment that raises you up to another even bigger moment. There was a lot of people that had moments tonight. Logan Paul Ricochet, with one of the craziest things I've ever seen. You know, Cody with the win, but Gunther going in there at #1 with Sheamus, which is tough enough. You know, like you're just gonna take a beating. But to have the performance that he did all through that hour, there was never a moment in that Rumble match, I feel like, where you lost Gunther, where he just blended into the background. He stood out the whole thing. He's a star. He is an incredible talent, and it's funny how many talent come to me when they walk through that curtain after they work with him, whether it's briefly or whether it's a long match or anything, and walk through that curtain and say, "Oh my God, he's incredible." You know, he's a special talent, and he had a big night tonight, and I'm excited to see where he can take that. You know, if each moment leads to another, I'm excited to see where he takes it next.
All the way in the back.
Hey, how's it going, Paul? Graham Matthews, BlitchReport.com. Just talking about from before the NXT involvement in this pay-per-view, seeing all the stars that, you know, with Gunther, Rhea Ripley, winning the match here tonight. Just talk about seeing their progression over the last couple of years, starting out in the Rumble as NXT surprise entrants, Rhea winning the whole thing tonight, Roxanne Perez being there as the NXT Women's Champion, and what that means for you, being a part of the whole journey for them.
So watching NXT talent come up through the system and then, you know, get to Raw, get to SmackDown, have moments like you saw tonight or whatever that is, and watching their career evolve, it's really something special to see. You know, you have a tendency after people have been here for a period of time to forget sort of where they came from and how you watch them develop and come through. You know, like there's so many talent that are so good, that just came out of that system. And sometimes when I see them, it's hard for me not to look past, the first times that I met them, or the first times that they had that sort of magic moment where the light bulb went off for everybody on them being a big star, and see that, I see pictures a lot of Bianca Belair and I in a hallway, but I believe it was the Mae Young Classic, and I think it was like one of her first live matches, and getting an opportunity to do that at Mae Young Classic, and just, she came back, and the reason I went to it is because she came back and got in the hallway and broke down. It was so emotional for her, and it was emotional for me watching her have that moment and picking her up and saying like, hey, stand up and be proud of what you just did, because like, this ain't gonna be the first time you have a moment like this. You're gonna be a big star. And to see her now headlining WrestleMania, to see her with that women's championship, to see the level of pro that she has become, to see her out there doing media, to see her on talk shows, to see just that level. And there's so many people that you can name it. So, that have done that same thing. So sitting here tonight and watching Rhea Ripley as this kid that came here scared to death from Australia, and the process of her going to the UK and coming back, and the ups and the downs and everything, to see her get to this moment tonight, it's amazing to watch. And it's honestly one of the coolest parts of what I have the privilege of doing, is working with all these amazing athletes and sort of trying to do your part to help them get to that next level and give them that platform to do it. And it's unbelievably rewarding, and I'm incredibly proud of every single one of them.
We've got 2 more questions.
Thanks for doing this, appreciate it. Ryan Satin, Fox Sports.
Yes.
This is the first road to WrestleMania where you're behind the driver's wheel creatively. Does that make you feel a sense of pressure, or does it excite you?
Oh no, it's pressure. Yeah, and it's exciting. The pressure is what makes it exciting. I think for anybody that's performed in this to a certain level, like if you don't love that pressure, if you don't live for that pressure, if you don't want that, man, you're gonna struggle in this. And what's cool is to be able to go from the athletic side of it, the performer side of it, to the behind the scenes aspect of it, and to have done it at a level that at the time seemed mind-blowingly big as we were creating NXT and doing all that stuff. That felt like a lot of pressure, and then you come here and it's amazing, but luckily for me, what makes it doable is the team that's around us. No one is doing this alone. It's certainly not me. I'm just a part of a big wheel that makes all this thing happen. It doesn't have, you look at this stadium here tonight and what it looked like, and the spectacle that was put out here. Kevin Dunn, his team, Jason Robinson building these amazing sets. And, you can look at the set tonight and go, well, the set wasn't that over the top. The spectacle of it was. And what the spectacle was the people and how we presented them. That crowd of 51,000+, and everything that went into it. So, the success of that team, the producers and the agents and the backstage staff, and just all of the people that it takes to make this happen, so things don't fall between the cracks, so things can move forward and you can put these events on. It's pressure on all of us, but you can see people just grab it and revel in it. Even just the crew that is absolutely behind all those things. We were in Laredo last night, and everybody packed up that building in Laredo and drove it here and set it up here, and they were setting up, 4 a.m. this morning. They were in here, put stuff up and plugging the trucks in and getting everything ready to go, because we were here this morning running through stuff bright and early. And, that level of dedication is what makes this a success. That all those people behind the scenes, that you all come to these events and you see them running around like ants on a hill, right? Doing all this stuff. That's really what makes all this stuff happen. So that team is incredible, and while there is a lot of pressure, they make it all doable and enjoyable.
Final question here in the second row.
Scott Fishman for TV Insider.
Scott.
So, with WrestleMania heading into Hollywood, there's, a lot of talk about The Rock and his potential involvement. What can you tell us on that? Has there been talk about him being involved this year? Was there talk about him being involved the prior?
Apparently he can't get in shape in time. That's what all you tell me. He looked pretty jacked, I thought. I don't know, I saw him lie at him the other day. I didn't think it was the uniform. He's incredibly busy. And I can say this as a guy that sort of, we kind of grew up as two young kids fighting each other for the spot, right? And having battles over it and in the best way, pushing each other. We all were in that time. I know, like for him, I was at a large like Emmy event a few years ago, and there was a poster there of him, and I think he was getting ready to drop a people's elbow on me or something, of course, and he was standing over me in this photo, and it was hyper, focused, right, like incredibly detailed picture. And as I'm looking at the picture, I realized he had goosebumps all over him, standing over me. And you could see him clear as day in this photo. I took a picture of it and I sent it to him. I said, "Don't get this in Hollywood, do you? It's a rush, but after the 12th time you've done that take, probably not as exciting as the first couple. And there's nothing like this, nothing." You were all out there tonight, 51,000 people going crazy. Put yourself in the center of that. It's all aimed at you. There's no rush like that in the world. So I know for him, and I know his family, his background and everything, like there's a part of him that if he could be here for this, if he could be here for this WrestleMania in Hollywood, he would turn over every stone and walk through fire to be able to do it, if he could. I just don't think it's in the cards. But then again, you don't know.
WrestleMania 40s next year.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I think we always have conversations with him because he loves it so much, and we'd love for him to be a part of it, right? He's the biggest star in Hollywood, maybe the most recognizable person on the planet. Why wouldn't we want him to be a part of it, right? This is his home. He has an open invitation. We don't lock the door. He has an open invitation to walk through it anytime he wants. But he's incredibly busy. And I think that respect factor both ways, that he wouldn't want to do it unless he could absolutely do it. Do you know what I mean? There's no way he would show up here and half-ass it. There's no way he would show up here and not come in and want to put every single thing he had into it to make it the best it could possibly be. So unless he can do that, it won't happen. But he knows that the door is open, and when he has the time and the availability to do it, he can come in and electrify everybody.
Paul, thank you for spending some.
Let's go one more.
One more? All right.
I don't want to be upstaged by Cody.
Wow, competition going on here.
Hey, can local,
Okay, one more question.
Can local media ask a question?
Well, yeah, you just did. That was a question. Thanks for the big pump. I mean,
Okay, the final question goes to, right here, second row. You, sir.
Hello, Paul.
hey man, how are you?
Good. By the way, I erroneously identified myself from the wrong publication before. I'm actually working for Inside the Ropes magazine.
Thank you.
Okay, now that that's clarified.
Who did you used to work for that you identified?
I don't know, there was some
right.
publication that went away.
Yeah.
But what is the message that you sent out tonight, not just to the fans, but to the wider universe that has taken a great deal of joy in scrutinizing the company?
The message is that we're going to put on a spectacle and a show like nobody else can. You know, you're always going to get scrutinized. You're always going to get looked at critically. You're always going to have that. Just do what you do. You do what you do. You put your head down. You work harder than everybody else. You put in more effort than anybody else. You put the best team that you can possibly put together, and you come out and you just do what you do, and nobody does it. And it, you know, I will speak for us, but I'm in the thick of it, so you can take it for how you want. Nobody does it like we do. Nobody. And I don't mean that in the sports entertainment industry. I mean that in large-scale live event show promotion. Stadium events, 51,000 people in it, right? WrestleMania, 2 days sold out, SoFi Stadium. We will put on a spectacle like only we can. And I don't see anybody else doing it. I don't see anybody else that can touch it. And that's not ego, that's just my opinion. But I will put our production people, I will put our staff, I will put our crew, I will put our talent, I will put them all up against anybody on this planet. And my opinion is we come out ahead. We do spectacle like nobody else. And it's not a statement from me. There are hundreds of people that worked in this building tonight for WWE. There are hundreds of talent that work here. Every single one of them walked into this building today to make a statement in what they do. From the smallest job to the highest job, they came here to make a statement that we are the WWE, right? And we did. And we're gonna do it again in Montreal. We're gonna do it again at SoFi Stadium. It's what we do. I'll say it one more time, better than anybody else on the planet. Anybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you.